and everybody addressed and all the protocols respected. It's an honor for me to be part of the week here, Wananchi. It's an honor, to be honest. It's a good opportunity because for the last 21 years I've been heavily involved in football every day, every week, So now I found the month free, and how nice and honorable it is to be invited in Tanzania. Thank you, President. I've always been in Tanzania. I think it's the fourth time or third time I've been in Tanzania. But I've come here in different roles. 3 times I came here for football, and all I've been doing is the airport, the hotel, this training pitch, and the stadium. So now I'm coming to see Tanzania different. Of course, I've been in Tanzania. I was here last year with my family, but we were in Zanzibar. And then I had to bring them over. I was telling the president I had to bring them over so that they must experience Tanzania in a different way. Because when you're in Zanzibar, we're having fun a lot. It's all about the beach and the ocean. But when you come to the mainland, you learn about the culture, the history of Tanzania. And I brought my family here, and we even went to the museum. Was sharing the message with the president, so that you come here and you know where we are. Because I'm from South Africa, and Tanzania has been big brothers to us. Politically, that most of the South African Africa were based here, and when I get this invite to be here, it's not all about football. It's about also respecting the land that has given us an opportunity in South Africa to have the freedom that we have, and Tanzania played a very big role. So it's not all about football, life first and then the football after. So I want to thank everybody here for being around and coming to listen to us. Well, for me, the most important thing is the week of Wananchi, to experience it differently, to share the space with Yanga in a different way, where we touch important things. I've been briefed about the things that we're gonna do today, and I think first of all is you guys here, and then I see the little boys kicking the ball around. So there's a lot of social responsibility that Yanga is doing. It's not all about football. It's about showing that they care. I'm happy to be part of that program, not only the program of going to the match.
I'm informed, yeah. No, you can use the two of them. This is for the TV.
Okay, good. And of course, the main thing, the game, I think we all want to see what happens, but I've just congratulated the coach, assistant coach, for unbelievable season that they had. They won the treble. If I'm not mistaken, I hope my facts are right, but I know that they won the league. I know they won the cup also. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yes, and the charity. Yes. So it's a treble. I was telling the coach, I said, in my life I won the treble 3 times. I remember the first treble I won with my former team, my Melody Sundowns. It had the Super Africa, Super Cup, it had the Champions League, and it had the league. So after that, Mr. Coach, after that I was under pressure because what else do you have to do? You have raised the standards very high and high expectations, you know. And you can always do better, because if you don't do better, then it means you haven't improved. So it's a very, very difficult situation to be put on as a coach. But why not? Let's push the boundaries. Let's get whatever we can get to win and bring the spirit of Yanga and bring them back. I think some of you, the journalists who are really following the game, I was surprised to see the turn up from the airport and the streets of the celebrations of the supporters of Yanga was unbelievable. I had to read you about it. If you remember, I don't know when was it, to say this is the spirit of football, this is how you celebrate success and victories, and was unbelievable for the world to know, you know, because I know there's a big rivalry here in the country in terms of football, but there's a rivalry anywhere in the world. I come from a team, one of the biggest teams, the biggest team, you all know that, in the continent. And you know the rivalry between Al-Ahly and Zamalek. I've been in those games about 6 times, and it has been so big that you ask yourself, how big can it be? And also the rivalry of going to Esperance, Tunis, and go there and win. The rivalry of going to Morocco and Wydad, and we go there and win. You know, and the rivalry of going to Algeria, where you face TF, you face USMA, you face all these big clubs, and you go there and win. You go to Raja and you go there and succeed. So I've been blessed to have traveled all these spaces in my life, and yes, thanks God that the little bit of achievements we have achieved, we can never be boastful of, but we need to be grateful of what football has given us and given me as an African child, because most of the time Africa is led by Europeans, and it's always good to when the Africans win. I think you won with an African coach, if I'm not mistaken. Tunisian is African, you know. So Africa must look after Africa, and we have a lot of talent and potential in Africa. We need to believe in Africa, because most of the time we believe we don't have. But I've won most of the titles in Africa, and I'm African, you know. And I was the first African, I can say sub-Saharan also, African coach since 1904, of the establishment of Al-Ahly, that I've stepped in that role. And for the last 2 years, I think we've got everything that Al-Ahly hasn't achieved in the last 6-7 years. We went to the 2 World Cups. We beat Palmeiras, the strongest team from South America, CONMEBOL, that represents Argentina, Brazil. I think you know all the big players who are coming from there. And we went to Asia. We played Al-Hilal, the champions of Asia. We managed to beat them. We beat the champions of Central American continent, which is represented by Mexico. We managed to do that, but I've always been stopped by the champions of Europe. You know, I lost to Bayern Munich. I think you saw it for 2-0 and all that. That's the last step that I would have really loved to do in my inter-club career, go to the final of the World Cup. But the rest we have managed to achieve. The Champions League, we've been for the last 5 Champions League, we've been there for 4 times. and we've won it 3 times. So it's really a blessing for an African coach to do that. We've got 2 bronze medals. We grabbed the 2 more medals for Africa in the World Cup as the 3rd best team in the world. We have achieved all those things, and we don't want to talk about the leagues and the Champions League. You have the whole history about it. So it's really an honor and a pleasure for me to be part of this team, the history of this team. It's a big team. Yanga is not only a big team in Tanzania, we all know it, in Africa. And now they're stepping into CAF, and I know the really tough stories about CAF. An easy coach, just win at home, you should be okay. You know? That's the recipe. Win at home, and somewhere, somehow, outside, if you're in a group, if you can get 2 draws, that's it. You got 9 points for home, you got 2 draws away, 11, you're through. Okay, so you don't have to win everything. The president will forgive you if you lose the other 2 games, you know. Yes, that's the recipe. So I've been in that space for the last 12 years, and I know how difficult it is, but I just want to say thank you everybody for being here, for us to listen to me, and obviously we should not take away the week of Wananchi. That's why we are here. And the other things that the president was speaking in the space first about the week of Wananchi. So probably the future generals who wants to know what I'm doing now, because now I'm on special leave. I have decided to terminate my contract with Al-Ahly. I had 2-year contract. We extended after we winning all those things. But I felt that with the achievements that we have done in the last 2 years and missing home, and also taking a break, because 21 years into this thing is not a child's play every time. And you must know, in my space, from my Sundowns to where I am with Al-Ahly, has been really 12 years of playing a game every 3rd day. Just imagine, every 3 days you have a football game, and then you travel also. It has been too much for me. It has been too hectic. Yes, it was not nice for me to leave Al-Ahly. I think you're following the social media. They are not happy that I left. But I said, inshallah, we meet again. So I had to take a break, and this is how I'm spending my break. Thank you, President.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Pitso. Nadhani sitaki kutoka kuuliza maswali. Tungeomba kwa kikao hiki tujikite ndani ya yale ambayo amezungumza. So I'm requesting the journalists to remain within the brief speech that you've had, remarks that you've made, and since we might have a chance to continue later to discuss more about the week of Wananchi that you've come to attend, we'll proceed with that as well. Kwa karibuni sana, naomba nichukue maswali yenu tafadhali. Okay.
Good morning, Coach. They will address you. Just give me excuse for a minute. I'm back in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Naomba dakika moja kidogo tupate break, lakini imani tunapeleka haya mambo kwa Watanzania, si ndio? Sisi weledi tunataka tunaelewa amesema nini. Kama mtajali, naomba nirejee kwa ufupi yale ambayo amezungumza. Ameshukuru sana kwa ujio wake hapa nchini Tanzania na mwaliko huu ambao anauheshimu sana, na hii mara yake amekuja nchini. Alikuwa anakuja hapa kama kocha wa timu, lakini hakupata nafasi ya kuiona Tanzania vizuri, kwani alikuwa anafikia uwanja wa ndege, hotelini, na hatimaye anafika uwanjani nyumbani kwa ajili ya mashindano. Amewahi kutembelea kwa mara 4 Zanzibar visiwani, ambapo alifurahia mandhari na kule ni mambo ya beach na kadhalika, fukwe. Lakini pia alipotembelea hapa bara, jambo la msingi ambalo amelifurahia sana ni kutembelea makumbusho ya taifa na kuona historia ya wakombozi wa bara la Afrika. Ameheshimu na ametupongeza kwa ushiriki wetu katika kulikomboa bara hili, na haya mambo alikuja akayaona hapa na kuelewa jinsi viongozi wa nchi mbalimbali walivyokuwa wanaweka makambi yao hapa na kuweza kurejea nyumbani kwenda kukomboa nchi zao. Kwa hilo amelipongeza sana na anatambua mchango huo hasa kwa nchi yake. Pia amekuwa na shauku kuiona na kushiriki wiki ya Wananchi. Kwanza kiratiba kutakuwa kwanza kiratiba kukutana nanyi waandishi wa habari, kuweza kujieleza mwenyewe na nini anakifanya kwa hivi sasa. Ili kafurahia kuona maendeleo ya soka ambayo yamedhihirika na vijana ambao wapo hapo uwanjani, ambao watachangamana nao baadaye katika kliniki yake maalum. Amesifia Yanga Sports Club kwa kushiriki kijamii na kukuza soka la vijana. Pongezi pia kwa kocha kwa kushinda makombe 3 msimu uliopita, na ni mshindi wa treble mara 3. Treble mara 3. Treble ni makombe yote 3 ya Sundowns. Nadhani hili mnaweza Google kuweza kuelewa mgeni wetu rasmi kwa nini kwetu ni wa heshima sana. Tunasikia fahari sana kama Young Africans kuweza kumkaribisha na kuweza kushare experiences naye. Sio kweli. Kwa hiyo hata waandishi wa habari nadhani mtupongeze kwa makofi yenu kwa kumleta Pitso kwa hii heshima na nafasi ya kuweza kuzungumza naye. Kwa hiyo alishika tafadhali waandishi wa habari tuweze kuisoma vizuri na kuweza kumtambua vizuri, na hakika alikuwa kwenye changamoto baada ya ushindi huo kuendelea kushinda, na anatupa matumaini ya kujenga ari ya kuendelea kuwa mabingwa kwa bidii, na anasema kwamba anaona fursa yeye mwenyewe ya kushinda mara hii ya kwanza na kuendelea kuweka bidii na kuwa mabingwa. Aliona pia hamasa ya mpira aliposhuhudia maandamano ama ile parade yetu ya kombe. Anasema hivi, ujumbe wake ni muhimu sana. Ilipelekea ujumbe duniani kote kwamba mpira una hamasa kubwa sana, sio Tanzania tu au bara la Afrika, lakini aliona hii kwa dunia nzima. Ilikuwa inaangalia Tanzania na kusema oneni jamani, hii ndio hivi ndivyo mpira au soka ambao inaweza kufikia watu. Kwa hiyo hilo amelipongeza sana na yeye lilimvutia kupita kiasi, na kama kocha Mwafrika ambaye anatambulika kama kocha bora kabisa barani Afrika na duniani, yeye anaamini kwamba kwa kazi ambayo amekuwa anaifanya, alivyokuwa anatambuliwa, Waafrika wana nafasi kubwa zaidi ya kuweza sehemu moja ambapo alishindwa kufika. Kihistoria mnaweza mkafuatilia yale makombe ambayo alishinda, timu ambazo alishiriki nazo kama Al-Ahly, na hata kustaafu amezungumzia, lakini alishindwa kuzishinda zile timu za Ulaya. Sasa anasema hiyo fursa bado ipo kwa makocha wetu wa bara la Afrika kuendelea. Na mwisho kabisa anatoa nafasi kwa waandishi sasa kuuliza maswali na kujibu kuhusu jani kila siku, mechi baada ya kila siku 3, mashindano, anasafiri. Kwa kweli imebidi apumzike, na mapumziko yake anatumia vizuri kwa kushiriki nasi wana Yanga katika wiki ya Wananchi, na sasa yuko tayari kupokea maswali yenu na maoni yenu na tujikite katika yale ambayo amezungumza. Karibu sana. So I hope I did justice to what you've said.
Oh, thank you.
But you're very distinguished and everybody, and we're now ready to engage with you.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Okay. Good morning, Coach. My name is Juma Ayo. I'm Tanzanian, and I work with TV3, and also I'm writing as a website called the African Soccer Updates, which is around there in South Africa. So I'm very happy to see you in Tanzania, and I can say I was the first person to interview you when you left in your club, Mamelodi Sundown. So I'm very happy to see you, and sometimes I was trying to get in touch with you when you left in Al Ahly, but I think you are very busy. So you are warmly welcome in Tanzania. First of all, I don't have any question, but I want to share my content, my view, especially with I'm very happy to see you, as I said earlier, and I want to thank President of Young African, Injinia, by bringing this biggest coach in Africa, especially in our land. So congratulations, brother, and I know once he will get another job, maybe another chance to get back in our football, it is not that easy to get this man in our land. So thanks for bringing him. My view is African football is still needing you, coach, and we know, especially in developing countries, especially our country and our clubs. As you saw in social media, after Yanga being crowned in our land, you saw how people were touched with that championship. So I would like to see, after this meeting and after this you arrive in Tanzania, you can get a chance to meet with the young African coach, especially to share your idea and your experience, because now they are in good track to international competition, especially African Champions League, and you are there and you know where to pass and what they can do, especially technically. I hope you're going to help the young African, because soon they are going to start their initial round in that competition. So you can help them to know where to pass. So that is my first point. My second one is you have academy. I heard you have academy in South Africa. I'm not sure, but I think you have, because you are dealing with the youth programs mostly. One of the program of Young African, especially upcoming days, when once president was in I think it was in campaign, he told us that he wants Young African to have a youth program. So it will be good once you get back in South Africa, due to youth programs with your academy. You can share with the Young African to see regularly. Once you can take maybe some of youth players from Tanzania to South Africa, and you can exchange that idea. You might help them to see how they can grow from the down or from the ground to up. So that was my concern, and I want to share with you in this morning. So thanks for being in Tanzania. You are warmly welcome, and we expect to see you again. But don't forget to help African coaches, especially Tanzanian coaches, because they are still lacking a lot of things, especially in technical issues. Thank you very much.
This is a good journalist for young Africans. Thank you. So he didn't really have any questions. Hakuwa hasa na maswali, si ndio? Umekuwa na mapendekezo, si ndio? So he's had proposals. I'll allow you to discuss those. But can we get one or two more heads? Na naomba tafadhali jitahidi kutumia muda kama ikiwezekana tuende swali moja kwa moja.
Coach, my name is Mario Cheto from TBC. My question is just a simple one. Coach, what other African coach should do to reach what they have achieved in Africa?
Very good question, Karim-san.
Can I have a piece of paper from you?
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you. Sorry, I just want to write down so that I must not forget.
answers.
What other coach should do to reach what we have been achieving in Africa, especially African coaches?
Okay.
So I think that really reflects the first part of the first journalist question. And the second part, of course, is collaboration with young Africans. And the fourth question.
My name is Abdulaziz Awata from Penja TV. We have been passed through your Twitter, seeing how you praised the Yanga parade when they win at the title of NBC Premier League. My question is, when you first received the call from the president that will be here in the week of Wananchi, what first came to your mind, comparing to that parade and comparing the vibe of Wananchi, and what do you expect to see in the Mkapa?
I would like to ask you some few questions. The first, have you pleased to witness such a big event in our continent of week, the Wananchi, which are expecting to have you tomorrow on the stadium? So I would like to know how far have you pleased with such a big event in the football of Africa? The second question is, how do you see such event can have a big impact on engaging the fans and the club?
And then we'll come back. Au ameuliza swali ambalo tunauliza wewe.
Good morning, Coach. I took concentration on something you said. You had to do 3 days, 1 match. Now, I want to ask, would you recommend that to other coaches who seek to find your success? Would you recommend that, and do you take that as one of the things that made you come this far? Because down here we have a lot of coaches who are like complaining. They can't do. That could be. I think they take it as a match. 3 days, 1 match. Some coaches do complain. Now, would you recommend that is something to be taken to coaches who are looking for your success, maybe?
Tufanye round 2, tusikilize sasa, inawezekana akagusia maswali yenu mengine. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let's cover those.
Asante sana. Yes, important questions and good questions, of course, and related to football. I will start with my brother there. You can just put it on silent, maybe. I think they're calling you from home.
Someone in Twitter, I don't know. Twitter space, yeah.
I think that our brother there was asking me about, it's not a question as he said, it was just a comment on the improvement of African football and youth program. Yeah, as an African, I have realized that the continent needs support, and I'm talking about that because I come from the program. You must understand, if you see those little boys playing football, I come from that background. I don't come from any academy in Europe and all that. You know, I come from exactly that boy that you see there. That has been my line of football, and I've played for Orlando Pirates, and I've played in Greece, in Europe, and also in Belgium, and I've played also in the Middle East. One of the most successful teams in the Middle East, especially in Qatar, Al-Sadd, I think you know the biggest club that Pele was playing. Mario was playing there. So I've been fortunate to be in those kind of spaces, and I've played for my country. I'm the first player to play and coach South Africa, my home club, you know. So I have realized that in terms of coaching, I've realized that the continent needs support, and we have to respect the Europeans because the way they've been in this program for long, and also you must also understand they have the financial resources. The countries are stronger as a country; they can support this, and I've been fortunate that some of my coaching education, I spent time months in Holland and learning in Feyenoord how they do their new structures. So I've got that experience, and I've also been developed by the DFB, German Football Association, and I've learned about their youth structures, and I've learned about senior football coaching. So with that background and coming to coach Mamelodi Sundowns and fighting with the North Africans and also the East Africans, the Mazembas, the Simbas and all that, I've looking at my story from the way it started to where I am today, and that's one of the things I'm doing at the moment. I have coached players like Steven Pienaar from South Africa. I've coached Benny McCarthy now. He's been appointed as a coach for Man United. He's one of the players I've coached, and I have known their strength and their weaknesses, and even myself when I was playing in Europe. So I've realized that it's not that Tanzania is not good if you produce a top player like what's his name? Yeah, Samata. I played against him and he scored against us. You know, scored against me. I don't forget that when I was playing for Mazembe. So but we finally defeated Mazembe in the CAF Super Cup. You know, I can also boast about that. And the president was that match in South Africa, by the way, for your information. So anyway, to cut the long story short, I've realized the shortfalls when I was playing, when these boys were playing, to say, why are the Europeans ahead of us? And sometimes you say, why teams like Senegal, Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, why are they always dominant? Algeria. I mean, if you look at the CAF Super Confederation Cup and the Champions League, you make your research, you know, as a journalist. For the last 5, 7 years or 8 years, which part of Africa has won those kind of tournaments? And it's a fact. And I'm humbled to be part of the last 5 years, to be four times in the finals and winning it 3 times. So in the last 5 years, I can boldly say I've been there and I've won the medals in that 5 years. So, but to come back to your story, is the shortfalls is we need to train our children here exactly the same way as the Europeans develop their children. It is some of the things are not. It's not about the money. Of course, you need financial resources and facilities to pay the coaches to be able to do that. But you need also the education to know. It doesn't matter. A doctor from Tanzania is the same doctor as in England. We study the same human body. So what we need is the curriculum to give them the right information, what to do. So one of the programs that I have started in South Africa is PMSS, which is the Pitso Mosimane soccer schools. I've long wanted to do that, but I didn't have the chance because I've been busy every 2 days, as the guy was saying. So I've started that, by putting football first in the schools. Why in the schools? All the children are at school. All the children go to school, the young children. And that's where you start. You can't miss them at the school. At club level, we have an opportunity to miss them. And we can only take as much. You know, Yanga, Simba, Azam, and then can only take as much. You can't take a lot. But look at the entire country. There's so many children who are left behind who don't play football. Not because they don't want, but because there's no program, they cannot be involved. So what I've done in South Africa, and hopefully